Every dude that stands pissing thinks he's a fucking badass. Every guy thinks, push comes to shove, I'm going to surprise everybody.
Oh, man. If I had a quarter for every guy that has never been in a fight that I could kill with my bare hands talking shit about my ability to fight, I would make Elon Musk blush,
Florida, baby, I'm coming home on the Permission to Party World Tour, October 30th, Jacksonville, Florida. I cannot wait to go surfing. November 1st, Orlando, Florida. And November 2nd, Estros, Florida. That's in between Fort Myers and Naples. Get your tickets and avoid scalpers by going to BertCom to your lowest ticket prices.
Ooh, comfort pillows?
I mean, it's so surreal sitting across from you.
Why?
I'm such a fan.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I think anyone that's a fan of MMA, there's a handful of names that that are legacy names that'll live with the brand forever. And, when you meet someone like yourself or like a Chuck Liddell or a Randy Couture, or anyone of that capacity, it is surreal. You were TuneIn Television. I mean, you were the reason we bought the fight.
Oh, thanks.
Isn't that crazy though?
I mean, I'm really grateful you bought my fights.
Was it hard to wrap your head around when it was happening?
No, it felt like destiny.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you grow up with your mom, it does feel like destiny a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was meant to be the first American Olympic gold medalist in judo, which sounds like such an obscure goal now. but yeah, I always thought I was like, I'm fucking Neo,
Yeah.
So like that's how my parents kind of like raised me, I think, to overcompensate with all the disadvantages that I had. They're like, oh no, you're exceptional.
Your disadvantages are, and I just started hearing about them like recently, but your disadvantages are, I knew about your disadvantages in life, like growing up, losing your dad at a young age, but I did not know about the, was it hypoxia? Apraxia.
Yeah.
I did not know about that. And I mean this with absolute love. It makes so much sense now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For those who don't know, apraxia is a motor speech disorder. Where what you want to say and what comes out of your mouth are two different things.
I thought I have to say this, and by the way, Dax Shepard might want to get tested because you and Dax Shepard sound alike to me.
Yeah,
you guys, yes, and I wrote it off to coming from the Midwest,
North Dakota.
Yeah, I thought it was like because he's from Michigan, you're from North Dakota. I was like,
betcha.
Oh, that's just that accent. But when I heard you talk about how frustrating it was to cut promos at WWE and have people be critical of you and not be able to like really come out and be like, listen, guys, I've been dealing with I wasn't speaking until I was 5. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I have to like really concentrate. And like when it like just right now, I just kind of like stuttered or whatever. And it happens in normal conversation a lot and people don't notice it. But like if you're doing a WWE promo, if you slur a word or if anything isn't perfectly enunciated, but you can't enunciate it too much because Triple H is like, if you enunciate too much, then you sound like Hunter Hearst Helmsley, which is, too well to do. You know what I mean? It turns people off. And so there's like this line you have to walk so perfectly that it's hard especially when you're self-conscious about how you talk.
I kind of want to go through all the things in your career, and I think everyone will stick around for those. But most importantly, I want to start with your writing, because I think that's probably the thing that people come to last is like when you talk Ronda Rousey, everyone wants to talk about your mom putting you in R bars as a kid, waking you up. Everyone wants to talk about judo. Everyone wants to talk about what it was like being literally the first female, one of the biggest stars ever in UFC, but absolutely the first female star, creating a whole entire genre, what it's like doing SummerSlam or headlining at WWE. These are all accomplishments that are crazy. Your life with Travis, that's where my interest shows up in this sustainable farming. I want to talk about the Big Island. I want to talk about Hawaii. I want to talk about all that.
Right.
But a graphic novel.
I know.
I mean, that's where I think people forget, and I mean this with respect, but everyone forgets just how badass people sometimes are a little nerdy too.
I think nerdy is like a coping mechanism for being a badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of time when I was young, like I was sore and tired. I didn't want to move. And a lot of it was like, oh, what can you do to keep yourself active while you're not moving? It's a lot of nerdy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
You're moderating a Pokemon form.
Wow.
Yeah. You're going to the Pokemon tournament at the mall, or, you know, you're getting into graphic novels or World of Warcraft or anything that, you know, doesn't require moving, but it takes a lot of like mental, I don't know, takes up your mental capacity. It a lot of times it's that Venn diagram is kind of like a circle. Is it hard to share that part of you? I'm only saying this because my daughter, at a young age, I witnessed this. She was obsessed with anime. Mm-hmm. She was obsessed with graphic novels. She would come back and she would share them with me, but me only. And so we had certain graphic novels or certain things that I'm not that guy. Like, I'm really just a meathead. I really am. I'm not a reader. I'm not, like, graphic novels, I get confused because like I'm a little dyslexic, so I'm all over the map with looking. Right. But comedy has always been adjacent to comic book, graphic novels, all of that. For whatever reason, that's the majority of our friends are really into that. So I had great access and I had great insight. I mean, we got into, I wish I could remember the names, but these great things, I just go to the store and be like, yo, what's hot? What's good right now? And then we'd get them and then I'd take them to my daughters and they'd be like, blow up. But I remember watching my daughter, fearful to share that side of her. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm not scared to share it. I think that people think I'm faking it a lot of the time, you know? Or yeah, because I don't know. There's just a very like gatekeeping kind of a attitude with a lot of these things. And a lot of times people kind of pretend that they're into it more than they are to like make money off of the space or something like that. Or I watched that happen with my friend. Yeah. My friend Rick Glassman was into Pokemon cards. Mm-hmm. And the community hated him. They were like, you're just trying to make money off of us. Yeah. Which, you know, I understand. A lot of people are like, want to jump on the bandwagon of something's becoming big and just attach themselves to it casually or whatever. And people that are into it are not casual, you know, and they take people being casual about it almost as like almost offensively. And so I understand where that comes from. And, you know, I'm just trying to just be consistent and, you know, like really genuine about it. And I didn't really come into comics to try and, you know, make big money. It wasn't like my ambition of like, oh, I'm gonna really get rich quick here by making a graphic novel. By the way, if you, I mean this respectfully. It's so. I mean, my wife's had 2 kids, and when I'm just talking out my ass. But what I've witnessed is when women have children, it spawns a very entrepreneurial, creative side of them. I watched my wife develop things that she thought would be great for mothers, and clearly this expecting the unexpected is, I mean, it is such a woman going through childbirth, dealing with whether it be postmenopausal depression or whatever. It seems like your outlet because the woman is hot and sexy, but also pregnant. So it's like, it's clearly not a cash grab. You just being a bra and panties. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true, right? the cash grab. I mean, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a pregnant assassin fight her way. Yeah. It was definitely not expected, but it was more like my own anxieties, I think, about becoming a parent. And I always wanted to be like into martial arts films. I was like, oh, I'm a better martial artist than Bruce Lee and a better actor than Jet Li. Why the hell am I not a martial arts superstar right now? You know, yeah. And I was sitting there all entitled and waiting for someone to hand me my greenlit dream project. And it'd been a couple of years, nothing had showed up. And it was right during the go home before WrestleMania, which is like the last TV performance. And it was a big old shit show like usual. And I was freaking out because Vince had just torn up the script and the people were filing into the stadium and we didn't know what we were going to be doing. And Paul Heyman, I think, was just trying to get me to relax. And he was like, so what kind of movie do you want to star in? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, what do I want to star in? I was like, yeah, what do you want to do? And I never thought about it. Like, what's a role that no one could play better than me? So I was like, well, I really love like martial arts films where you're fighting from point A to point B, like, The Raid, you're going from the bottom of the building to the top of the building.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, mine would be kind of like that, but it'd be a chick that's pregnant, because I was going to start trying to have a baby right after WrestleMania. And she's trying to fight her way to the abortion clinic, because everyone's trying to kill her and she doesn't think she can keep the baby safe. And all the times that all the close calls of the baby's life make her realize by the time she gets to the clinic how much she wants to keep the baby. And that was just kind of like the germ of the idea. And then I shattered my pinky knuckle at WrestleMania, and then went straight from there to surgery, straight from surgery to on a plane to fly to the Colbert Report, because I was on, not Colbert Report. Why do I say that every time? Because I'm fucking old. Late night with Stephen Colbert. And then got off the plane, straight to the show. I had my hand in a cast, so I was screaming in pain that I had to put it down on my side and act like I'm not in pain and I'm really charming right now for 5 minutes, and then walked off. And I finally had time to sleep for the first time in days, to lay down before getting on the flight to go back home. And I was laying in bed and I had the idea for the scene when she finds out she's pregnant. And you ever have an idea for something while you're in bed and you just keep running it through your mind over and over so you don't forget it by the morning, and you realize you're keeping yourself up? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, just fucking write it down. Just write it down and you can go to sleep. And so with a cast on, with my thumbs on my phone, I started thumb typing. And 5 hours later, I'd still been typing and it was time to get in the car. And 2 hours in the car, I'd still been typing. And then several hours on the plane, I think over Nevada by the time I hit the end. And I looked at my phone metrics and I'd been typing for 11 hours straight with my thumbs. And that was my first very, very shitty draft.
Wow.
Yeah. And I took it to my agent and I was like, hey, do you have a writer that can help me out with this? And it was just 60 pages of block text. And he was basically like, I don't know, what do you want me to fucking do with this? This is not this isn't 60 pages of gibberish.
It's every agent. Sometimes you have this precious idea that you're really in love with and you give it to them. And I think they do it to challenge you sometimes, to say, what am I supposed to do with this?
What are you going to do with this? He kind of lobbed it back to me.
Yeah.
So then I became obsessed with screenwriting and wanted to learn as much as I could from YouTube and podcasts. And every time I learned something, I would apply it to the script, and eventually I hit a wall. And I was I kept bugging Brad because I kept seeing people say that the best education for writing is to be a reader. And
they say. To
write, coverage and stuff like that. But I'm like, no one's going to give a high school dropout fighter a reading job. So I was like, well, now I'm going to leverage. Leverage my stardom and get myself an internship. And I asked him several times, and he kind of kept brushing it off. And it was my birthday, and I was like, Brad, for my birthday, could you please get me an internship to be a reader at WME? And so he set me up with this guy, Adam Novak, who's the head of the story department at WME, to be basically his summer intern.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he would give me...
So you did coverage on scripts?
Yeah, he gave me several scripts a week to write coverage of it. And I had to after I put my babies down, I'd be up until whatever o'clock in the morning reading these scripts and writing coverage and everything like that. I did that for months. And then Brad one day was like, I think the reason you're obsessed with screenwriting is that you're meant to write your own story, because I'd sold the rights to my story to Paramount a long time ago, but there was always regime changes, and Mark Bombach did a script, but they owned it. And so he was like, you try it, you give it a shot. So I'd only got into screenwriting to write a script for me, for this specific script that became the graphic novel. And so then in 8 days, I wrote a quick draft of, my life story. And I sent it to him to give me his notes, and he sent it to Netflix and they bought it immediately. So the first thing I sold was actually for somebody else to star in. But I was still obsessed with this first original one. Yeah. And it just came into my head that man, this would make a great graphic novel. And so I started reaching out to publishers, and then I found AWA, which Axel Alonso, who was the former editor-in-chief at Marvel, got a hold of the script, and he was like, I fucking love this. And he was the first person to see it and believe in it. And I'm like, I got one. Yeah. I got one person. And then, then he helped me make it into a comic script and got Mike Deodato to be the artist for it. And we were working on it for last couple of years. And it's finally an actual print version that I can hold in my hands. And yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop working. I already wrote the sequel. I'm already writing like notes for the threequel. It's
Really?
Yeah, it's just something that like brings me joy, just the act of doing it. And so I'm just so obsessed with it that I didn't want it just to sit as a file on my computer. So now I've made a comic out of it, and hopefully I can make multiple if people like it.
What's the joy like for creating that versus getting back in the ring and fighting? Like I just saw a clip of someone saying she fell back in love with fighting. She's missing fighting. And I was like, wow. But like the joy of fighting, the joy of competing, and the joy of writing a script, does one feel sexier to you?
Well, I definitely look a lot sexier when I'm fighting than when I'm hunched over a keyboard. But I think training is really fun. I think fighting is really exciting. But I wouldn't be like, ooh, I'm going to go for a good, fun fight today. You know what I mean? There's a lot of anxiety that's involved in it. But the training is a great time. And I have a lot of fun. But yeah, I think the writing is more of like, I don't know, like it's for joy, but it's also like a coping mechanism in some way, you know? If I feel like my mind going into like a destructive thought pattern, I can consciously direct it back to whatever I'm doing creatively and like kind of break that cycle. And so this is like, instead of like picking at myself, I'm knitting a sweater.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. As the weather cools, I am swapping out the pieces that actually get the job done. Warm, durable, and built to last. And Quince delivers every time. The wardrobe staples that carry you through a season. You always look good in a slick t-shirt. This is a good looking t-shirt. Quince has the kind of fall staples that you actually want to wear on repeat. Look at this. Oh my God. Am I all navy blue? How great is this? Blue's my power color. Like 100% Mongolian cashmere from just $60. Classic fit denim and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. Hold on, I've got to say this. They've got a suede trucker jacket that is perfect for layering up, and it looks cool, but looks like casual, but you could wear it to a steakhouse. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middlemen to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. And when I say half the cost, I mean Leanne bought 2 birthday presents for 2 friends. She bought them the cashmere tracksuits. Whitney and who's the other one? I'm going to say this and you guys are going to text them and be like, yo, Leanne got half off. It's like almost like buy one, get one free. That's how inexpensive they are. And they're amazing. And I know that because Leanne has that tracksuit. It's a cashmere tracksuit and it's slick. Let me tell you guys, if you're getting your chick something this Christmas, their cashmere tracksuits are awesome. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel good, gentlemen, just as good as they look. Go to quince.com/Bertcast for free shipping on your orders and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Bertcast. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Bertcast. You may have heard of HelloFresh. They're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered right to your door. But this fall, they're serving up even more love. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. It is bigger. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. Now you can choose from over 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes, recipes from around the world, digging into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. They are healthier. Feel great with an even healthier menu. Choose from 15 plus high protein recipes each week with options like grass-fed ribeye, lamb chops, HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie pack recipes that have 2 or more veggies per dish, and they are tastier. Get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week with no extra cost. Now, 3 times the seafood options. Savor the season with the hearty fall recipes like classic beef chili. We made that last night. Honey glazed pork tenderloin. We made that 2 days ago. And you can discover new seasonal produce each week, from leeks to broccolini to Italian eggplant and more. And if you are a parent of kids in college. You know I keep saying this. I do this with all my sponsors that I love. We send them HelloFresh, and we know that they're eating good, but more importantly, they're having a blast cooking. These are college girls cooking together, sitting down and having dinner together, just like we did at home. I want that for my girls, and they both do it. The best way to cook, in my opinion, just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/Bertcast10FM right now to get 10 free meals, plus a free breakfast for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/Bertcast10FM to get 10 free meals, plus free breakfast for life. Do you enjoy reading?
I do.
I don't.
Do you like audiobooks?
I kind of. I think something's wrong with me. I really do, because I have zero ability to focus.
I think you should listen to the Red Rising audiobook read by Tim Gerard Reynolds, and you'd really enjoy it. The whole series I'm obsessed with, but Tim Gerard Reynolds is such a great...
Rising.
Yeah, he's such a great narrator, because he does like all these different accents and everything like that.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, he's incredible.
The Red Rising. Will someone make sure I download this when we get done?
Yeah, what I was like doing, like, actually while I was pregnant with this last baby, because I had to drive really far to the best doctors are in Beverly Hills, and I'm pretty far from there. So I had to drive there multiple times a week. And yeah, I listened to this entire series and the whole new series. Well, I'd read the originals, but then he came out with whole new books that happened 10 years after that. So then I listened to all of the old ones and all the new, and it's just like, it's such an awesome experience, I think, audiobook. Really? Yeah. I mean, I love reading as well, but I got 2 kids now. I ain't got time to sit and read. So
yeah,
unless like a comic, you can I like comics because you can kind of have them sitting around, and instead of dicking around on your phone and being like, why did I just waste my life? You can just pick it up and read a couple pages and then put it down, and your kid's back on you, and you pick it up. You're like, where was I? Oh yeah. And you visually see where you were. And then it's easier to like pick it up and put it down over and over than a book.
Isn't it kind of funny that like in 1950, they looked at a kid reading comic books like he was wasting his life. And now we go, that's actually pretty good for you.
But yeah, I think it's like the only form of print not in decline right now.
Really?
I think, yeah, comics are holding strong.
I don't have any attention. I don't have any ability to pay attention. Like if I start something, it's got to be so wildly engaging for me to listen. Like last night we sat and watched a documentary on the Dust Bowl.
Oh yeah.
And I started fantasizing, and I started imagining me, and then my breathing, and then what would I be? I wonder what I would do back then. And then all of a sudden, I'm not listening anymore. I'm like in a different world of my own thought.
I think if you're driving and you're listening to the Red Rising audiobook, it's exciting enough and fast paced enough that it'll get you. And you're already doing something else. You know what I mean? And you have to focus on something else. Well, how many things can you do while you're driving until you like run into a wall?
I'd be shocked. Did you get anxiety when you fought?
Oh yeah, huge.
Like, what's your anxiety look like? So I imagine I feel like our anxiety is different, but I don't know.
I mean, my anxiety would peak 2 weeks out. I would call it 2-week-itis. And it's when you're like the most broken down from your training camp, and then when it suddenly gets real, you know, because 3 weeks is almost a month, but 2 weeks, it's like, oh my God, it's almost here. And you're the most broken down, and your weight cut and everything like that. Hang on.
That's really a brilliant statement. Because I get, I have anxiety about certain things that I go, oh, it's coming up. And I go, 3 weeks is almost a month. And then you're not really that stressed out. In 2 weeks, it's coming up.
Yeah.
That I connect with that. I can feel that.
Yeah. And then, so that's where it peaks, and then it kind of more comes down as it comes up. But it's also like, I don't get afraid of my own fear and anxiety, because I know that's what happens before I do like awesome shit, you know? And so like if you're nervous or something in my heart is like pounding really fast because I'm just thinking about it all the time. When I was a kid, I'd be like, oh my God, what if I'm tired from my heart beating fast all day? And then when I get out there, I'm not going to have enough energy. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, my heart could beat 1,000 miles a minute for a year and I'd still have the endurance to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't get afraid of my own fears, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the pressure building behind a bullet before it shoots, you know? I need that. Yeah.
That's interesting. I think I would imagine I would have people always say this about comedy. I never get stressed before I go on stage. I have zero anxiety going on stage. I'm actually the most comfortable I've ever been. The second they say my name, I'm like, oh, thank God.
They hit your music, yeah.
Yeah, like when I hear my music, I get so fucking pumped up, and I'm like, nice. But I always think about fighters or football players. I don't know why the two are the only ones I think about. Not baseball. Baseball, I feel like it's such a slow build, but it's. I think the night before I'd be a mess. I don't know if I'd sleep at all.
I mean, it depends. Like sometimes. Well, I think if you have a weight cut and you make weight the day before, a lot of times you're just so happy to be full that you just fall asleep. But with judo, you would weigh in the morning of.
Wait, how long have you been doing weight cuts?
God, since I was like 13, 14.
What a crazy way to greenlight an eating disorder.
Right? Fuck.
Just to be like, no, it's a weight cut, Rhonda. You can throw up. You gotta get it out of your system.
We only approve of you at this weight.
Jesus Christ. I did one weight cut in my life. I did one weight cut with my best friend, and we did it for Joe. And Joe Rogan, he's on Emmett, does like UFC commentating.
Never heard of him.
Okay, and so, but we did it for Joe, and we were. And I've never been more miserable in my life. And I gave up. I gave up the weight cutting to the extent where I was like, I can't not, the feeling of wanting moisture in your mouth and not getting it. There's a finite amount of people that really know that feeling, like legit wrestlers, like I don't know, Greco-Roman or like wrestlers, MMA fighters. And that's really it. Maybe models.
There's actually, and when you're at the Olympic Village, you meet all kinds of interesting people in the sauna. And the person that sits at the tip of the canoe when they're rowing,
oh my God,
they got to cut weight. The person that just goes, row, go, go. You know, the person that keeps the rhythm. That person's in there. They're in the sauna cutting weight because they want to be light on the front of the boat. Yeah, who knew?
What's the most amount of weight you've ever cut in one weight cut?
Oh, like in a short period of time?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I probably cut like 20 pounds in a day before.
Oh my God, let's do that with me today. I would love that. I would love that.
Let's not get like, what is it? Like something like rattler stones or
gallstones?
Whatever. I don't want.
You get kidney stones. Is it kidney stones from dehydration?
Yeah, I've like cut weight so bad that like my kidneys hurt, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Really?
I don't want my kidneys to hurt, man. Like when you're like I'm fine with like muscles and joints and bones, but like I don't want an internal organ kind of being like, nah.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Then I need to start questioning my choices.
Your choices are interesting. your choices are I said this. Because obviously you met my team. I work with women. So sometimes when I talk to, like, I in a weird way, I don't feel like I could offend you, you know? I don't know, because you could beat me up. So I feel like in a weird way you go, I'll allow that. But you say something, you know? But I was trying to figure the right words. Your entire life, I feel like, and I wonder if you feel like this, I mean, your entire life you've been an anomaly. You've been the one kid. I mean, we all know that one kid that is gifted at a sport at a young age that's different than us. And then obviously, you know, what you achieved in judo is the anomaly. It's the one kid. And not only that, you're also a female. And then you go into UFC and you change the entire script. And dudes who have been training their whole life who think it's my turn, all of a sudden you outshine all of them. And then you go into WWE and the same thing happens. And now you're doing it with writing graphic novels. I feel like do you feel that way sometimes?
I mean, you're not the first person that's used that word, anomaly. I think when I was a kid, I got kind of like identified as like a prodigy, I guess, very young. And I was obsessed with the book Ender's Game. Have you read that?
Yeah, yes. I haven't read it. They made it into a movie.
They made it
right?
into a movie. The book's way better. Please,
Okay.
please. It's the greatest sci-fi of all time, probably. And one of them, in my opinion. But I think I attached to it so much as a kid because this kid is recognized as being very gifted at a very young age, and all the adults and everyone around him just do all this fucked up shit to him to make him better. And everyone around him has their own agenda, is doing something to him to make him better. And he ends up being the best ever. And like, you know, I don't want to like ruin everything, but he ends up super fucked up because of it. But he did achieve his goal.
Pull up the movie so I see if I saw the movie.
I didn't actually watch the movie, but I heard it was bad. I didn't want to sully it in my mind.
Oh, I haven't seen the movie. Oh, I did see the movie. I did see the movie.
Read the book. It's 7th grade reading level. You can do it. I believe in you.
I think you're overestimating me. You've never seen me read out loud. So bad.
It's so good. I read this book every year for like 10 years.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
So in a weird way, you always... what's it feel like being a prodigy? I mean, I know what it's like as a comic, but like I'm being dead serious. There's times where I feel like I'm not even joking. I'm not a prodigy, but I remember learning very quickly and seeing things I was watching people do, and I was like, well, I'll never make that mistake. Like I was like, wow, it was so clear mistakes people were making for me,
right?
That I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then even still, I think I took my own path, which I think was a longer path for me. Because I got caught up in bad habits for a very long time, and it wasn't until I started on my own path that I'm on now, where I got more confident in my decisions. And obviously, I'm joking about being a prodigy. I don't want anyone to think I was ever a prodigy. Dave Chappelle's a prodigy,
right?
Dave Chappelle's a prodigy. But what does it feel like? What does it feel like?
I mean, I was also really lucky in that I wasn't just a prodigy, but my mom was a world champion in judo, and not just that, but also a PhD in psychology. So she in developmental, like educational psychology. So she knew what I needed at every single stage to make me into a great fighter. And she was a great fighter herself. And, you know, we lived in Santa Monica in a rent-controlled apartment. You know, my stepdad was a rocket scientist, so they were able to make sure that I had opportunities, and my mom knew what I needed at every single stage. So it wasn't just that I was a kid and I was great. I was a kid and I was great, and I had support and opportunities. And
your mom's a little bit like Earl Woods, like a gangster.
Yeah, like, my mom's a super fucking gangster, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm such a slouch compared to my mom. My mom, she got a perfect score in the SATs at 16. Graduated college at 19, won the world championships in judo while she was working as a single mother engineer in the 80s and getting her PhD all at the same time.
All right. What's it like growing up with that? Because that's got to be no. My dad had things he hung over my head, meaning like lost his dad at 13, raised himself, made his own way. Like my dad, not by no stretch of the means even close to your mom, but he was a better man. That I kind of always knew he was going to be a better. I was going to be hard to be as good of a man as him.
Yeah.
What's it like having a mom who out-achieves absolutely everyone and sets a precedent that would be, oddly enough, you kind of surpassed it, but would be absolutely daunting to try to surpass?
Well, I think it made everything seem very possible. You know, it didn't seem like being the best in the world is something was an alien concept. Like my mom was walking through the living room and forgetting her keys, you know, like looking for her keys 5 times in a day. She wasn't like some alien to me.
She's looking at you going, we're champions. That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gotta be fucking cool.
Now change the cat litter, you know, like that was kind of the expectation. And it didn't seem like it was out of reach for me because she was able to do it. And so I almost felt like, oh man, I'm a fucking slouch because I did all of this, but I dropped out of high school. Like she did it and got her PhD. So like, oh, sorry. Everyone in my family is actually an academic. So I'm like the dumb jock. Like everybody's got at least a bachelor's, and that's like low. Like you got to have like a master's or be able to work on particle accelerators or something to get any kind of respect in our family.
That's your mom's psychology, your mom's rearing you is. I remember watching a documentary. It was definitely before Jesus Christ. It must have been like 2017. Was there a doc on you in 2017, 2008? I don't know.
Things have been done, sure.
I guess it's hard to track your but I remember watching that going like, that was someone raising someone for greatness. And there's tricks you can do with your kids. I always said my dad, I said, and I asked him about this. he always told me I was great under pressure ever since I was a kid. He was like, dude, you love pressure. I'm telling you. When everyone wants to get away from it, that's when you step to the occasion. My whole life, I've loved pressure. For whatever reason, you add more pressure to this. It makes me thrive. I asked my dad one time, I go, is that real? And he goes, I don't know. I just noticed that you seem to do good. And so I kept saying it. And and then now you do.
Yeah, my mom would say that all the time. Oh, you fight above yourself under pressure. And when I would get nervous, I would ask her, I'm like, can you tell me all the reasons why I'm going to win? You know? And she would list while we're driving hours. She'd be like, oh, well, you're stronger, you're faster, you work harder, you're. And when she started running out of reasons, she would like come up with things that were really funny. And it's like, well, your hair is so healthy and shiny. It'll reflect the light and blind their eyes as you come in and you get your grip and stuff like that. And she would like make it into a game. And that was like my way to deal with anxiety is I would ask my mom to tell me the reasons why I'm the best. And she would just go on and on and on and on and on until I felt better. Yeah.
If that's not a scene in a movie, I don't know what is.
It is. I wrote it. And I sold that shit to Netflix.
If that's not, if I'm looking at a little girl in a car with her mom, that's fucking beautiful. That's beautiful. She's
the best. I'm sorry for all the noise my stomach's making. I thought this was going to be at 1, and then I forgot you guys were able to change the time, and I ran out the door, and I just had like a Pop-Tart today, so sorry for your sound. No, just for your sound. I just hear my stomach going like.
By the way, I will just add to it. I'll be like, I'll title this Ronda Rousey farce. No, I don't hear it at all. Hair loss isn't just about hair. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. Hims helps you take back that confidence with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including choose oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. I just talked to my doctor about this, and he said, the oral medications they have for hair loss are really working. And I said, can I take them? And he's like, you're kind of already taking one. But I've been doing it, I won't say what, but I've been doing it topically. And he said, you can take it orally. Game changer. I'm going to do both, oral and topical. They're going to run a train on me. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/Bertcast. That's hims.com/Bertcast for your free online visit, hims.com/Bertcast. Remember, individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort? And is it Sober to October for you? And are you looking for a way to chill out? The CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body, not against it. Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it is stress, discomfort, or if you need just a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD, formulated to help relieve discomfort and stress and sleeplessness. All products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. And these babies are awesome. Listen, I'm sober this October. I don't count these CBD gummies, even the ones with THC, especially this 1 milligram of THC, because it puts you to sleep. You sleep better. I sleep better. I feel recovered. I'm getting great sleep. I'm getting great deep sleep, REM, all of it. Right now, Bertcast listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/Bert and use code Bert at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/Bert and use code Bert. What's it like being friends with people in UFC, to be friends with them and then watch them be critical of you?
Watch them be critical of me?
Meaning like you're friends with everyone and then you go and do a fight and they're like, Ronda Rousey isn't all that she says she is or something. You're like, wait.
That ain't my friend.
But it's like interesting because people, I've watched MMA enough, I've watched UFC enough to watch the commentators or Ariel Helwani or like I know, but like you see these people be critical of you, and then they may come up to you and be very nice to you. Hey, Ronda, Ariel. I only know. By the way, not defending Ariel or anything, but he's been an interesting guy attached to the sport, and I've seen him be critical of people like Rampage or yourself, but then you might run into them. Is there a part of you that wants to be like, bitch, you're not my friend, get the fuck away from me?
That's why I don't talk to those people anymore.
Really?
When's the last time you saw me on Ariel Helwani?
I don't know if I ever have.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time?
Yeah, because I remember that shit.
Really?
Yeah. I remember people who I thought, were my friends, and turns out that they weren't, so I just don't talk to them anymore because that helps them out. So why would I help them out if they're going to, try and, I don't know. It's just, I thought there was like a mutual respect there before that I realized was something that I just imagined. So I don't really speak to a lot of those people anymore. It
is a weird being a critic without experience in the like physical experience and and my angle, it's always been comedy.
Mm-hmm.
When people critique comedy without ever having done it and knowing how difficult it is, it's always bothered me. But in a weird way, you got to sit back and go, that's what they do, I guess.
Yeah, but it's also like MMA fans and media are the most what have you done for us lately crowd of any sport. Like you look at WWE and they have such a reverence for their legends. And at MMA, it's like the second that you're not on top, you're not shit and you never were shit.
That's it's almost heartbreaking to me because I have, for whatever moments, the people that are my heroes, the people that meant the most to me when I was coming up,
mm-hmm.
no matter what that last fight they did, no matter what that looks like, I still look at them as heroes. I mean, I look at them all.
You're the exception though, because you brought up Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell, when he's on top, oh my God, he's the best. He's the best. The second that he loses, oh, Chuck Liddell ain't shit. He never was shit. And then Rampage Jackson, oh my God, he's the next Mike Tyson. He's so great. Second he loses, oh, Rampage ain't shit. He never was shit.
Yeah.
GSP, oh, he loses, he's not shit. He never was shit. Anderson Silva, oh my God, he's like he was like almost a mythical creature for a while.
Yeah.
He was like this ninja, and he would hypnotize everyone in front of him. And second he loses, oh, Anderson ain't shit. He never was shit. Fedor Emelianenko, great, one of the greatest ever. Second he loses, oh, Fedor ain't shit. He never was shit. And I think the only reason that why MMA fans have their lips so firmly planted at the base of Khabib's cock is because he retired before he reached his limit. And if he kept fighting until he reached his limit, everybody would be like, oh, Khabib ain't shit. He never was shit. And they're like that with everybody. Like name one person,
No, I mean
Brock ain't shit. He never was shit. Name one past champion that has that the kind of respect that the current champions do. And it's really sad because I think it encourages people to try and get out while they're peaking and leaving and taking all of that equity with them instead of passing it on to whoever's next to take up the mantle. And it's something that I wanted to retire undefeated because I was so afraid of like, oh, everything that I've accomplished is going to be nothing if I ever lose. So I have to retire undefeated. And it wasn't until I got into the WWE and saw that, wait, you have to retire on a loss. That everybody in the WWE has to retire on a loss because you have to pass that torch on. And I think everyone in MMA is they're gonna try and take the torch with them because of how the fans respond to it. And then the fans, a lot of them have never fought. It's not like football where a lot of people who watch it have done football. And they don't understand how short your shelf life is and how every fight changes you. Even if the fight you came out unscathed, you didn't come out of the training camp unscathed. And you can't keep it up for very long. It's just the human body. You're taking impacts to the head. This is your fucking brain. You can't make your brain stronger or more calloused. It's just there's a limit to how much you can take. And as soon as anybody reaches that limit, you ain't shit. You never were shit.
Do you find a kinship? I'm just asking this question. Do you find a kinship when you see someone who was like, I just remember Conor losing, and I feel like I know, and I no disrespect, I know there's a lot of guys that I'm friends with that are huge MMA stars that I love to death, that are my favorite guys in the world. Won't say any names, but that I'm sure will take offense to what I'm about to say. You and Conor kind of changed the game a little bit, in my opinion. And I know nothing, but when you watch him lose, do you go like, is there a party that wants to send him a text and you're like, hey man, I love you?
I mean, it's, there's nothing you can say, you know, when you're going through that. And I think what makes me more sad than watching people that I care about lose is watching them lose it because they stuck around too long, and then you see them making weird decisions and, you know, doing things that they never would have done. And you see like, oh, this person is sticking around too long and their personality and their decision-making is getting fundamentally changed. But they're still getting judged under that same light as someone who hasn't been taking these impacts. And that's what I feel for the most, is when I see someone that I felt like I knew and cared about starting to make some really terrible decisions and thinking like, oh, this person is fundamentally changing. They need to stop.
Wow. It is such a nuanced muscle you share with all these people that we've watched fight. Like it's such a small percentage of people that get this life experience of being a champion, being better than anyone at physically defeating someone. It is such, like you said, when you said everyone played high school football, it is true. Here's the weird thing about fighting. Every dude that stands pissing thinks he's a fucking badass. Every guy thinks, you know, push comes to shove, I'm going to surprise everybody.
Oh man, if I had a quarter for every guy that has never been in a fight that I could kill with my bare hands talking shit about my ability to fight, I would make Elon Musk blush, you know? But, you know, it's
true. You're just your confidence in movement. Just the simple thing of like, I don't know what to do first.
But it's offensive to some people. Like, oh my God, a highly accomplished woman with a high opinion of herself. Keyboard warriors to war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I said the other day that I'm the greatest ever, and man, everyone flipped the fuck out over it. And I'm like, how do you define the greatest ever? I define the greatest ever as the person who was the most dominant and the farthest ahead of their time. Right? Because you can't judge different eras against each other. You can't judge LeBron against Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's the greatest ever, I'd say, because of the effect that he had on culture, how far ahead of his time he was, and how dominant he was. And no one can say that I haven't been the most dominant or most ahead of my time, and I'll die on that hill. But a bunch of people that have never been in a fight in their lives will, you know, devote a good portion of their day to arguing otherwise. But the great thing for me is that outrage drives engagement, and there's plenty of people that don't agree with them, and then we'll get into a debate with them, and then that ends up actually all helping me in the long run. So I think one of the problems that a lot of the women in MMA have now is they're trying to be as inoffensive as possible and to not say anything outrageous. And that's how we almost lost women's MMA, you know, people trying to quietly not offend anyone and, you know, quietly ask for permission to be there. And it's like, no, man, you have to make your space, not ask for space. And that's something that I kind of worry about these days, that people forget how recently it was so different, and they feel so secure in the way that things are now, and they're not fighting for their space anymore. They're just occupying it.
Is it fair to say that Dana is the biggest star at the UFC?
I think without Dana, its soul is gone. And
Dana is the heart. Dana is such I hope you and Dana are cool.
Oh, I love him so much.
He is such he's everything you want that fucking guy to be. His intensity, I love you, Dana, but he's still a little bit of a meathead. You know, like
who isn't though? That like makes you identify with him more.
That's why I love the guy. Yeah. Is like, and his energy, what he drives him, and his vision, and the fact that he doesn't give a fuck, and he's just talked wild shit and not giving a fuck. I love Dana White. I think he is so, but he is the star of UFC.
Yeah, but yeah, with when Dana's done, I think the dominant MMA, organization, that title will be up for grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Dana is it. Without him, it's just 3 letters.
Ooh, that's scary. It's like once I die, BBP's nothing. That's my production company. I
thought you were like Diamond Dallas Page.
DDT. Was it when you went over to WWE? Was there a like exhale where you're like, and I mean this with love, I'm going to the fucking Monday night. It's like I know so many people within MMA.
You're so afraid of your DMs here.
No, it's my friends. It's like
just so pretty and popular, and I just don't want any of my friends to not like me. This is coming up a lot. It's part of like your core.
Fans. It's not fans, and it's not what people would say online.
Okay.
I get upset that when people are like, "Dude, why didn't you mention my name?" And then I'm like, I just wasn't thinking. I was panicked. And with
real friends will understand.
I hope so.
And they won't get upset with you.
I love you, Nate Diaz.
I love Nate too.
I love Nate Diaz.
Did Nate DM you? He said you some mean DMs.
No. But
that's your fear. Your greatest fear is a DM from Nate.
If I start talking really good about Conor, I'm afraid Nate might text me. He's like, "Yo, bro, what's up?" Like, I don't know. Like,
what do you mean? Did Conor help Nate get one of the biggest paydays?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I love what they were able to do for each other.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people forget that it's like, and whoever you're fighting, you're helping.
Yeah. Both those guys. I love both those guys. Conor McGregor gave me one of the coolest moments in front of my kids ever. We were in New York. And we were just walking down the street, and he was walking the other direction. He's like, "Hey, Bert." And I was like, "Hey, what's up, Jeff?" And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" So much fucking energy for 7 a.m.
I don't know how that's possible.
And my daughters.
Him and Dana are like at 10 all the time. I'm
yes.
Like, what are you guys taking?
And my daughters,
Monster energy drinks.
Dana's like on this wild health kick. And he's like, I never felt better in my entire fucking life.
You sound like Vince just then.
That did come out like Vince.
I feel so great. I turned into Vince McMahon.
But my daughters, I walked away and my daughters are like, "You know Conor McGregor?" I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I met him one time.
He DMs me every once in a while.
But with WWE, when the competition is shifted, is the fairest way to say it. It means that it's sports entertainment, and as opposed to you going up, rolling the dice on you, where you're sitting in the front seat and your mom's telling you these are the reasons you're going to win. You go to WWE. Is there an exhale?
Oh yeah, it was like. Well, the funny thing is, it was like 0 pressure, 0 stress for me. But everybody else who's done only that their whole life, it's very stressful.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of funny for me when everyone was all stressed out. And I'm like, guys, we're playing around out here. We're going to have fun. It's cool. But there were times I was stressed when they would when it would be just such a shit show backstage that I would be going out to do a match that I don't even know what it is. And I'd have to improvise it. Out there with 0 experience, basically, you know what I mean? And, or I just got handed some promo that I have to say that I don't believe in, that everyone's going to shit on. You know what I mean? Like that, those are kind of stressful experiences. But in general, if you know what the match is and it's going to be a good match, I'd be in a great mood and excited to jump out there and oh yeah, because we're all doing it together. I think the only competition in WWE is it's your match versus the other matches on the card, And so I always felt like whoever I'm out there with, we're a team. That's my partner.
Oh, that's a fun way to look at it. I don't think I've ever looked at it like that.
Yeah.
I love Helix. I love Helix. I love Helix. I sleep like a dream because of my Helix mattress. I sleep amazing. My daughters sleep amazing. Why? Because they both got Helix mattresses. Here's how certain you can feel about Helix. If you got a kid that went to college, have them go to the Helix site. Have them take the sleep quiz. It's going to take 2 minutes, and it's going to tell them how they sleep. Now, both my girls had already taken this. We had done this when they lived at the house with us, so we knew what mattresses they needed. Isla is a soft, feel for back and stomach sleeper. Hers is the Moonlight Lux. Georgia is a side sleeper, just like myself. Midnight Lux is me and Georgia, and we sleep incredible. As a matter of fact, there's a feeling I get when I get in that bed where I get excited and I get pumped up to be in bed. You should feel like that when you get in your bed, the same way you do when you get into a sports car and you're like, God, this feels nice. Or when you see it pull up to valet, that's how you should feel when you get into your bed after a long days of work. And if you want to feel like that, go to helixsleep.com/Bert for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/Bert for 20% off site-wide. Make sure to enter our name of our show after checkout so they know that we sent you. That's obviously Bertcast. That's me, Bert Kreischer. Go to helixsleep.com/Bert. I've always said, and WWE at its best, when done purely and at the highest level, is just as enjoyable as any other sport in the entire world.
Oh, definitely. It's incredible how much they succeed in spite of themselves because it's just so awesome. And when it's done well, there's nothing like it. That's why long-term booking is so important, I think, and being able to rehearse and being able to put a lot of thought into these storylines and these promos and stuff like that. But a lot of times it's just being thrown together by the seat of their pants. At least when I was last there, maybe things have changed since Triple H has taken over.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't speak to that, but I will tell you, in the ones I've gone, it's really fun. I mean, it's really fun to watch the development of how that show is put on.
Yeah.
Like when you get full access to that event, it's so fun. As a fan, I mean, I brought my buddy who hates WWE, or did, Tom Segura.
You can't. You can't when you go watch it.
I brought him and he loved it.
Yeah.
There's times where he's grabbing my arm. He's like, and I was like, I told you, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Was there, and I hate to say this one more time and bringing sex into this, but I'm using it as a champion, someone who redefined sex and viewing in UFC. To go to WWE, did it feel at times that you were put into a box as a female where you're like, yo, hold on. Let's not forget who the fuck we're talking to here.
Well,
it's all men writers.
Well, it's not just that. It's just a bunch of people who I always speak my mind, and that is kind of what helped me get to this point. And when I was over there, I felt like a lot of the time I was having to like do somebody else's impression of myself. You know?
Yeah.
And so like a lot of stuff they'd write for me. Like at first they're like, every promo they wrote for me was like, I'm gonna rip off your arm. And I'm like, can we make this less hokey? Like, but it's because nobody put any thought into it until that evening. You know? It's like, can we think about like, this is the way I wish it was done, like a TV series, right? The WrestleMania is the big finale. And so after WrestleMania, let's sit down and plot what the season's gonna be. You know, and then by the time we get to the finale, it's something that we put a lot of thought into and rehearsed and everything like that. And it's just not like that, you know. Like when I headlined WrestleMania, I threw that match together mostly the night before, and we were still figuring it out the day of. And it's kind of like, we had all year, guys. Like, we can make this even more fantastical. And but that's just not the way they do things, and they're very much, you know, about tradition, and it's hard to change something that's been the way that it's been for so many decades.
When you left WWE the first time, did you think you'd ever go back?
The first time, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it even better the next time, really? You know, and then but then when I went back, it was like the death throes of the Vince McMahon era, and it was not what I expected. So. I'm probably not going to be going back. I'm very grateful for the experience and what I was able to help the women do to get to the main event of WrestleMania. But, you know, it's not my circus, not my monkeys.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. Compare Vince McMahon and Dana White.
Dana White wants to be his company to be as successful as possible and make as much money as possible, because I think he's got a lot to prove in that space. He's got like that like new money kind of like a veneer of he wants to earn his respect in that space with like all of his peers. And I think Vince didn't really care about how successful the company or how much money he was making. He cared about how much influence he had on other people culturally.
Oh, wow.
And so he was trying to impress his viewpoint of the world on everybody else through that. The bottom line be damned.
Which one's better?
I mean, I'm a capitalist, so Dana.
Wait, wow. That's almost fascinating to compare. Like, who was the what men's champ when you were there? Pulled up.
The fact
hold
that
on.
you can't.
No. It's got to be Cena, John Cena, right?
The fact that you can't recall, it makes it so funny because I think a lot of people in the WWE think they're a lot bigger stars than they are.
Champion when you were, it's got to be The Rock, Cena. No, who was it? Who was it?
Like, who's the champion now?
When you were there. No, I know who the champion now is, but who is the champion when you were there? The men's champion. It's got to be Cena, right?
No, I think
it's got to be.
It was. Well, I know, but I don't want to spoil it for you.
Was it Roman Reigns?
For part of it.
And Randy Orton, Chris Jericho,
Brock.
Oh, it was Brock.
Brock and Roman.
Do you notice Roman Reigns has got interesting legacy to the UFC.
UFC.
Or not, God damn it, WWE, WWE. There's too many fucking initials. I feel like we should go scuba diving. WWE, he's got legacy to that. Did you notice that same legacy with like guys like Silva, like I want to say the Shamrocks, or like there's legacy families in UFC that show up and they're like, oh, here. Do you notice that in the same legacy families?
Well, I think
or like with the Brazilians?
Legacy families in WWE are a lot more successful because it's scripted, you know?
Yeah.
So you can make sure that the legacy continues. Whereas in MMA, you got to win, you know? So it's like, it's not like a guarantee like anyone else. Like Roman Reigns, they tried so hard to get him over for so long. And there was "fuck you, Roman" chants, and no one wanted him because he had so many of those advantages. You know, he was young, good-looking, talented, came from a famous family, and that nobody else no one identified with that. Yeah. And it wasn't until Paul Heyman came in and found a way to repackage everything as the head of the table and all of that is Paul Heyman's genius. That got him over. So much of what that is working in that company is due to Paul Heyman or Paul Heyman's guidance. He is like the guy behind the scenes that's like everyone's mentor. And a lot of the best ideas originated from him. My graphic novel originated from him.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Heyman deserves a fucking shrine in my mind. He has a shrine in my mind. And in my Inside Out, I have like all the different islands. There's like a Paul Heyman island floating somewhere.
Wow. Did you, not to pivot from WWE and from all the fighting stuff, but obviously the thing that probably most engaged me towards you, I'd always been a fan, but during the pandemic, you started talking about this. I think you guys were living in Oregon and doing sustainable farming and like you're living off the grid. And I watched you one time plant a fucking onion. I've never not had an onion sprout at all in my kitchen and not gone out and planted it. I've got them at my house. I've got 3 at my house.
Awesome.
But what was that? Was that always something you were into? Or was that Travis coming from Oahu going like, don't worry?
No. It was kind of like something that, I watched 28 Days Later when I was a kid and started having reoccurring zombie dreams, which I love 28 Days Later. I think it's the greatest zombie movie of all time. I'm not saying that I hated it, but in my dreams, I'd be like, oh, how would I survive the zombies? And then I become like a fighter and you make money in chunks. It's not like a salary. And first you're like, ooh, I made $800. This is going to get me through, a couple weeks. And then
walk me through the chunks. I'll do it. No, that's really fascinating. I've never thought about it that way. So I'll tell you the chunks in stand-up. Okay.
Give me a chunk.
Okay. So first, everyone knows $50 to be the host, $50 per show to be the host, $100 per show to be the feature. That's the guy that does like 20 minutes after the host, before the headliner. Headliner, I started at $1,300.
Wow.
$1,300. And then I moved to $1,500 the next year. The year after that, I moved back down to $1,300. And I skated within $1,300 to probably $2,000, $2,500 for the majority of my career. Until I was, and then until I was like almost 40, 41, 42. And then all of a sudden you go to percentages and you go 35 grand for a weekend, then 65 grand for a weekend. And then you go to arenas where the number is pretty astronomical, and anyone that's very interested can find out how much anyone makes on an arena tour. Their Polestar brings up the numbers. But what's it like fighting? So I'm assuming you make nothing fighting judo.
No, not really. I mean,
that's got to be crazy to be fighting for free with people that are just passionate about judo.
I mean, that's basically the Olympics in general.
Yeah.
Very few people make money from the Olympics. It's mostly a bunch of psychopaths that just want to be the best at something.
Okay, so I'm gonna go years for years, and then you just kind of give me like a broad stroke. You don't have to give me exact numbers. Okay. Although if you throw in an exact number every now and then, it'll be fun.
Okay.
But so you do judo, and you get nothing. You get sponsorship?
Like free gis. Like I had a sponsorship from like the New York Athletic Club, where they would like reimburse my expenses for tournaments and stuff like that. But nothing like, not really making money.
Okay, so your first UFC fight?
My first UFC fight.
Or MMA fight?
MMA fight? Yeah. Well, my first 3 MMA fights were amateur fights, which the only difference is you don't get paid.
At all?
Yeah, and it's not on your professional record. So I just had 3 fights for free first.
Wow. Were they fun?
Yeah, I had a great time, actually. I was winning. I felt like I was on the, on the path of destiny. I felt like I was in on a secret that the whole world didn't know yet. So.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a great feeling at the time. I was like, this is the point in the movie, where she's listening to this song. And this actually happened for real. After my first pro fight, which was the one where I made $800. It was a really big deal to me at the time because I almost got evicted because I had some identity theft right before that. And so making $800 was huge. And
what a horrible name to steal in the future. People are like, wait, you're Ronda Rousey? You're like, she turned herself into something? I knew her when she was nothing. That's when I stole her identification.
Yeah. Anyway, so then I was driving. It was in the parking garage of the Tarzana Country Club was where the fight happened for King of the Cage. And it was the fight where I had the dog bite in my foot. I had like 9 stitches in my foot. And I won in, less than a minute. And I was driving down the hills of to go home at the end of the day. And I was blasting Don't Slow Down by Matt and Kim. And I was like, this is the part in the movie where she knows she's onto the shit and she's about to go on this upward trajectory and fucking kill everybody and all this stuff. And I felt it in that moment. And I wrote about it in my book. And then one day I was somewhere for WWE at like a coffee shop. And this chick's like, Ronda. I'm like, what? She's like, hey, it's Kim from Matt and Kim. I read your book. I know you listened to my song. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, Kim. So that moment that I knew that everyone was going to know one day that I was about to kick everyone's ass and put women in the UFC and all of that. Even the chick singing the song. I was going to run into her one day and she was going to know me. And that was like such a huge moment that I knew it. I was so sure at that time. And I'm so glad that Kim was with me.
Well, hopefully one day Ice-T will walk up to me and go, Bert, it's Ice-T. You lost your virginity to colors. I'll go, oh, Ice-T, it's so good to see you. So you make $800 in that fight?
I made $800.
And then how many of the King of the Cage, how many fights before you go to UFC?
Well, that's the thing. I had less than a year of from when I made my pro debut to when I won the championship in Strikeforce.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't know that.
Less than a year.
On. have been cooler, soft pitch, if they had WWE'd it a tad bit and built you to put you over? Would it have been you know what I mean? Like, feel like there was, I feel like I could be wrong, but back in the older UFC days, they'd give people like a slower build up to get there.
I didn't have that kind of time because the UFC was about to buy Strikeforce, and Dana said on record that women would never fight in the UFC. And so I had a very short period of time to convince him to absorb the women's division along with the men fighters. Wow. And so
How old are you? 20?
22, 23 at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there was no anyone with belief in me thinking that we're going to take our time to promote her. It was, I'm racing until they fold the organization to convince Dana to take the women.
I'm going to see my daughter tonight. She's 21, turning 22. That child is not prepared to take over the UFC. That child is not. Do you ever think for a second? Do you ever like have any? Do you ever like? I want to say do mushrooms, but think about the little kid Ronda who showed up at 22 to the UFC. That's so fucking young and so not ready for anything in life. So not ready for everything coming your way. You made $800, then they're like, "Yo, are you ready to? You got a year."
You know, it's funny. I remember, because I'm ruining my own script right now, but that's fine. It's fine. They're probably going to rewrite it so many ways that.
By the way, I'm so engaged in this script that I don't think anyone gives a fuck.
Okay, they're going to kill my darling, so I'm going to assume this. But it was after I won the Strikeforce title, and Dana and Lorenzo called me while I was in the middle of an interview with Iro Hawani on the phone, and I clicked away from the interview to pick up the phone from Dana. And Dana and Lorenzo were on there, and they told me that I did a great job, and they were going to give me a bonus of, there was a little bit of static, $75,000. And I lost my fucking mind with my friend Marina in the car. We were screaming, "Ah!" Until it came through on the phone that it actually said $175,000. And I lost my shit. Like, it was completely life-changing. And I will never fucking forget how it felt to be working for tips and minimum wage job and have to think every month, what am I going to have to let lapse? What's lapsing this month? You know, I'm going to have to not be able to pay my car registration. I'm going to have to not be able to pay for this, not being able to afford health insurance and all these things. And it was in that moment that I knew that I was never going to have to worry about that again. That I was never going to have to think of like, what is going to have to fall through the cracks this month. And that weight that came off of my shoulders of not having to worry about money again, it's fucking huge. And it's really hard because I want my kids to know what that feels like.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah.
Because that weight, I got bullied. I don't want my kids to ever be bullied.
Yeah. But you want them to have all of the opportunities in the world. But I feel like every kid should know what it's like to work in the service industry and what it's like to try and live off a minimum wage. And I don't know how I'm going to do that for them. I'm like, maybe that'll be their final for finance. Your finance final is you have to go, try and survive off of a minimum wage service job.
They'll find it. And I mean this for real. I don't think you and Travis are going to raise privileged kids. I don't think that's even a possibility. Meaning, the way from what I've seen from the outside looking in, there is still a grit to your life that not every life has, you know, and mine doesn't. I don't have a grit to my life. I have a very cushy life. But my oldest just was like, "Yo, I'm going to get a job and I'm going to pay my way through college. I'm paying the tuition. She's paying for her rent, and I gave her a car, so they were being above board. It's not like it's fucking a struggle, but she's paying her rent. She's paying for everything she does. She works. She goes to school, and then I have Isla as a different child. She wants a fucking. She texted me. This child has failed the driver's test 9 times. Okay, She can't read. She can't. She's like. Right. She's like. She's a great kid. She's doing great at art school. She's doing great. She is killing it. She is thriving as an artist.
Right.
But as a person, you stumble sometimes. And she texted me the car she wants, a Dodge Charger Hellcat. And I go, they're $210,000. And she goes, is that a lot? And you're like,
oh my God.
Your sister's working in a Mexican restaurant every day, making rice.
I mean, I think, it has a lot to do with the parenting. Like, I think it's so funny that, I'm the baddest bitch on the planet. And my mom raised me in Santa Monica. You know what I mean? Like Santa Monica is like the softest place ever. And
you're the baddest bitch on the planet.
Yeah, the baddest bitch on the planet. And I was raised in Santa Monica. Like, so she really showed me that you don't have to, we weren't like living in a mansion or anything, or my stepdad has a apartment that's been on rent control since he was in college.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was, for the longest time, we lived in a 3-bedroom apartment, 7 blocks from the beach for $800 a month. Yeah. In Santa Monica. Like.
You still got that place?
Yeah. They're still in it. And I think it recently got raised up to $1,200. Right? Like, but think of how like fortunate I was in a Mediterranean climate. It's 73 degrees year round. You're walking distance from the beach. Everyone around you, is doing well for themselves. It's not like, Santa Monica wasn't always as nice as it is now, but it wasn't the fucking, I wasn't like growing up in like Watts or anything like that. No. So, I think I learned a lot from her of how you can raise kids to not be assholes in a nice place.
I'm still stuck on $175,000. $175,000, and you misheard it for $75,000.
Yeah, and I was so stoked about 75, and I thought it was 175. Oh my God! Yeah, that was my first bonus.
Really,
that was like a big thing. Was the bonuses, And now
they just gave them. They just used to give them like you'd sign a deal to fight a fight, and then if the fight performed well,
they would just they were known for like just giving big bonuses if they thought you did a good job. And there was a fight of the night bonus, a knockout of the night bonus, and a submission of the night bonus. So I think there was a couple times where I got submission of the night and fight of the night, or knockout of the night and fight of the night. It was like a big thing that everyone would try to get the bonus. And now I think that kind of got lost too.
Yeah. It's so fucking interesting. And then do you care about money now?
I mean, I care about not having money.
Yeah. So, you're probably, I'm assuming, you don't have to answer yes or no, but I'm assuming from you, just based on you, that you live within your means, that you're not this, like, I'll tell you why. We had a bet.
Okay.
And that no one won. How many people will Ronda Rousey show up with? And I said 8. And
8?
I said 8. And then everyone else said 3 was the lowest. She'll definitely come with 3. And you showed up by yourself.
Yeah. I should have.
You showed up by yourself and you walked in. You're like,
where do I pee?
Yeah, where's the bathroom? And it's refreshing. I never show up. I show up anywhere with just my assistant, mostly because I don't like driving. Mm-hmm. So I show up with my assistant. That's it, usually. But it's interesting, people who show up by themselves. And when you did, I was like, wow.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, I think what's most important for me is to not have to worry about the bills.
Yeah.
Like that's the hugest, the biggest luxury that anyone can have is to not worry. And I think anything above that, it's fucking dragon sickness. You know what I mean? I
was
like, why do you need a 30-room house? What's a 30-room house for?
I don't have one. I don't have one.
No, but like people that do,
I'll tell you what it is, because I struggle with this. But I think what happens with people is you start to get to an age, and you're not there. You're still very young. You are. I looked at it. You're young. You're closer to my daughter's age than you are to me. But there's a thing that happens when you get older where you start saying to yourself, well, hold on, what are we doing? Don't I have one time that I'm going to live in the big house? I did it when we had a small house that was like 1,100 square feet. I was like, I need the big house. I remember saying that. I want a big house. And then we have a big house. But then I was like, the other day I was like, yo, What are we doing? Are we going to get like, what's the most we can spend on a house? What, like, just out of curiosity, why wouldn't we take everything we have and just get the crazy wild fucking house for the end of our lives? And then and then I said to myself, like, I really like my house and I like where I live and I like my neighbors. And I was like, and I don't stress about money. I don't, if I told you our mortgage, you would lose your mind. You'd be like, shut the fuck up. My wife did really good with paying for everything and then getting low mortgages so we could afford everything if shit went sideways.
Right.
And that's what I think I care about most is if shit goes sideways, can I maintain?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's actually what I got sidetracked talking about before with the zombies and the growing things and stuff like that, is that when you make money in chunks, you're like, well, how long will this last me? I'd immediately do the math. Okay, this is a couple weeks, this is a couple months, this is a couple years. And so the lower you bring your expenses, the longer it'll last you. And so that's one reason why I wanted to be as sustainable as possible. It's like, how do I bring all my expenses down? How am I going to get rid of my power bill? How am I going to get rid of my water bill? How am I going to get rid of my food bill? How am I going to get rid of all these things? And so that's kind of why I got into gardening and making sure I have solar, making sure I have water catchment, and making sure I have all this stuff. Because, what if it's all gone? And I think that partially comes from me losing my dad when I was 8. And I thought like everything was fine, but it turns out he'd been sick for years and we didn't know. And so I'm always waiting for like the rug to get pulled out. You know, even if you have a bunch of money in the bank, it could be like, what was it? Like Rocky V when he just found out all the money. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just ready for everything just to be gone. Yeah. And to be able to be self-sufficient and survive on nothing, because I kind of always have that fear that it'll always get pulled out. And I think I'm really scared to live beyond my means. So I try to live well below them out of that kind of fear. But it's also like, what do you need all that shit for? Like a house that's 30 rooms, it's not a home, it's a building. You live in a building.
I would argue there should be a sociologist that does this. I think the perfect size house for a family, there's got to be an allotment for square footage per person, and then an allotment for shared. I will say we took that 11 square foot.
You can do it. Hey, I'm here for you. The motor speech disorder girl, like you could just take your time, pay attention to every syllable, and you got this.
We took that 1,100 square foot house and turned it into a 1,900 square foot house. That was the biggest it ever got. And I will tell you, perfect size for a family of 4. Mm-hmm. It was perfect. And I remember saying to Brian Regan, you don't know who he is, I'm assuming, one of the best comics that's ever lived, and one of the greatest comics in the world ever lived, still doing it, still crushing it. He walked into that house and I was embarrassed. I was like, because I was making money, and he was like, hey, this is your house? It always looked bigger on Instagram to people. Mm-hmm. So people would be like, this is it? And I'd be like, I know it's small. Like I'd get, I don't know, embarrassed. Leanne was never embarrassed. And he said, no, this is the perfect size house. He goes, bigger than this and you're yelling for people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, but I want the big house. And he was like, He was like, nothing for nothing. After I got the big house, we got divorced. Yeah. I was like, really? He goes, I'm not saying that was it, but we weren't a family anymore. And we moved into the house we currently have. It's 2-story. And the first month we were there, anytime anyone tried to get in touch with anyone, it turned into a fight. Because it was like, Georgia, what the fuck you want? I've been saying what? It never was like, Leanne, I'm in the fucking closet. And you're like, God, so.
Yeah, you got me with some of that spittle.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
I'd start a fight over that. I got your point.
Yeah, but there has to be a remedy for the perfect size house, but with the age your kids are right now.
Yeah, and I think it's also like retired athletes. I want the minimum amount of steps. When I first time I played Sims and I was like trying to make a house, I didn't realize how big the dimensions were, and I built this gigantic ass house that was like a floor plan. And then every time they had to go from the kitchen to the bedroom, it just took so long. Like the whole day was just taken up, like getting from one place to another in the house. Like I just want minimum steps. Like my knees are like memories of knees.
What parts of your body hurt the most?
Well, my right knee has no ACL, missing the middle of my patella tendon and no cartilage. So I have to get shots every 6 months to like lubricate them. lubricate it, so it actually will. The bone spurs will move past each other and it won't lock up. My bottom vertebrae on my back is cracked in half. So the doctor was like, don't get fat and keep your core strong, but when you're pregnant, it's going to suck. So basically my knee, my back, everybody's got degenerative disc disease basically in their neck. So that's going, I got that going for me.
You got great teeth.
Thank you. My dentist, I've had the same dentist since I was 11. And every time I see him, he tells me I have the most naturally perfect incisors he's ever seen. And he's like, please don't get your teeth knocked out. Please don't. They're just, he'll tap them and go, pretty. Yeah.
That's crazy. You've been in so many fights and you never had your teeth knocked out. I've had my teeth knocked out.
They got knocked loose, but it was more because of the mouth guard than the fight. But good mouth guards are important, guys.
When was the last time someone had to hold you back from beating someone up in public?
Never.
Never?
Never. I would never gotten away with a fight ever since I was in school. Like, and all these people would tell you stories like, oh, I got this fight once and then this happened. And like, any time I got in a fight, I had to do community service or I had to we got taken to court or something like that. So yeah, I learned very quickly that only amateurs fight for free.
Secret time. Every man in this house has a wild crush on you, probably including myself, but my wife's here. So, and so I would love,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Halston is the biggest fan in the world. He's been with me forever. This is our 700th episode and he is leaving to go to Nashville.
Congratulations.
To pursue his music career. So
wow.
Thank you. Yeah, for both of us. We've been doing it for a long time. Halston, is there any question you have for Ronda that I've missed, that I haven't asked that you'd like to ask?
I just want to know what it's like fighting in front of that many people. Like, I've never heard it explained, I guess. Like what it's like to fist fight somebody in front of thousands.
It's a great question. I'll make it better because I'm a pro. And he's off mic. So what is the experience like? How many people, what's the normal gate at an arena when you
My favorite size is basically an arena, not a stadium, which is around 18,000.
18,000.
Anything bigger than that, I think, is too big.
So 18,000 people, the first time you step into that octagon, from locker room to octagon to win to back to locker room, I'm curious to what that experience is like. And if you want, I can tell you what it's like as a stand-up.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Well, I think first it's have blinders on,
What time do you get to the arena?
What time?
Yeah,
hours before.
Okay, and so do you wear sweatpants?
Yeah, I wear sweats, and I usually try to lay on the mats, try to take a little nap or something, but I never actually sleep. But
yeah,
my mom used to be between matches, sit there and think about winning, or try to make me lay down and take a nap in between matches. So she would take me from basically asleep to get up, it's time to fight. And then I would go from basically sleeping to ready to kill somebody immediately.
Your mom should start a life coach business. I would love to fucking call her before a big show and be like, hey, Mom, tell me how I'm going to be funny. She's like, you're fat. You take your shirt off. Everyone loves that. Keep going.
And then, you warm up and you're watching the other fights happen in the back, and then it gets closer and it gets closer to your fight. And then you start to actually warm up, and then you warm up, you get your hands wrapped and
you don't have your clothes on yet, your fight clothes yet.
A lot of times I'll put them on under, right when I get there, I'll put them on under my stuff and put my sweats on over it. And then, then get the hands wrapped, then warm up. Then basically I'm just sitting there on a chair waiting to be called. And this is why Bert Watson needs to come back, because you used to hear him in the hallways, the we rolling. Yeah, you'd hear him down the hall.
Who's Bert Watson?
Bert Watson? Oh, he's the fucking OG who would walk us out. And then you get a little louder, we rolling. Yeah. And then he'd come to your door and it was your turn. And then you come out and be like, we rolling. Yeah, this is your fight, your night. Don't let him take your night, baby. He'd be there swinging his towel and everything. You'd be like, fuck yeah, Bert. Once you heard Bert, I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm going.
Wait, where's Bert Watson? I want him to walk me out on stage.
That's him in the black shirt on the left. That's Bert.
Oh,
I love
fuck
him
yes.
so much. And
So then you're walking.
so then
Yeah, I know I'm imagining the walk from the arena. I know you're indoors. You're seeing employees that work there.
You hear the crowd before you see it. You hear it, and you're enclosed in this tiny little tube. And then you step out, and suddenly the whole world opens up, and it's like you're inside and outside at the same time. It feels like you're outside, but you know it's contained. And then you hear everyone fucking losing their shit, and you hear your music playing. What you have like this, I have this like Pavlovian thing. I hear Joan Jett, Bad Reputation. I'm about to fuck some shit up, and it just puts my mind like in that spot, and I'm just going. And usually the camera guy's in front of you, but he's got to walk backwards. But I don't walk slowly, so a lot of times that guy fucking trips and falls down, which I'm sorry. Yeah. But there was one fight where the guy fell twice on the way in, and he fell again on the way out. I was like, it's all right. By the time I'm way out, I'm in a different mindset. I'm like, hey, guy, you're doing fine. But usually the person's like trying to, keep up with me while going backwards. So, and then there's a guy behind him pulling him. So, God bless that guy, because I'm just trying to get to the ring.
Is anything on the sides registering?
I mean, not really, because I'm just taught to block it all out. It's different from WWE where you're supposed to play to the crowd. Yeah. It's like people are fucking.
So you're blinders on, walking up. Mm-hmm. You get to the cage. Nothing's registering. You don't see Dana. You don't see Lorenzo. You don't see.
No, to my family.
You don't see your family. You don't see anything.
Nothing. And I was focused on the path ahead. And then you get to the person who checks your shit, checks your teeth, puts your mouth guard in.
Yeah, I always wondered what that is. Are they putting Vaseline on your face?
They're putting Vaseline on your face so that the glove won't catch and you're less likely to get cut.
Oh.
So it's to protect your face from getting cut open.
I thought they were like, you're looking old. I want to moisturize.
I really wish people cared that much about skincare and fighting, but I'm the only one that's worried about my skin. And then you're in the ring and it's so bright. It's so bright and the spotlight's on you. So it's basically the crowd around you is black. And you're like almost in the center of a void.
Yeah. So you can't see past
the cage, basically.
Really?
Yeah. And then it's just you and this person. You hear everybody, but it's just you and that person are the only person in the world. And they say, like, come up. And they always say, touch gloves now. This is your time to touch gloves. Why the fuck are people touching gloves after they ring the bell? I cannot tell. I do not understand.
Yeah.
They're like, if you touch gloves, do it now. They literally say that. And then people come out and they're like, high five? No, bitch. High five time was fucking 5 minutes ago. And then you'll have people that are like talking shit or being a big fucking asshole during like the whole fight promotion or dick to you at the pay-per-view. And then they get to you, like they don't want to touch us. They're like, high five? You're like, fuck you, no. You were just being a bitch. Nothing pisses me off more than performative sportsmanship.
Yes.
It fucking is disingenuous and I ain't fucking playing that game. And I've taken a lot of shit for it. And you know what? Fucking pile on the shit because fuck you. I'm not playing along with performative sportsmanship.
God bless.
Thank you. And then they say, go back to your corners. And then I always go back and I try to like feel where the cage is without looking at it. And I hit it and bounce off of it. So I know how far exactly the cage is from the middle. And then they say, you ready? You ready? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill this bitch. And then you go.
You win. Is there a warmth that comes over you where you're like...
It's relief. It's just, it's like relief. It's like my shoulders have been high up like this for weeks. I didn't realize it. And my shoulders suddenly drop. And I get to finally relax.
Do you start looking into the audience for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like, where's my mommy? Mommy! Yeah. There's no Adrian. It's mommy! Mommy! Where's my mama? Yeah.
And then when you walk back, look at your fucking intensity. Rhonda, I have so much testosterone in me and I don't have that intensity ever. I just got tested by the doctor. I have too much now. And I can't even find that look.
Oh, that was kind of like ever since I was a kid, kind of, okay, you focus and you go out there. And my mom would I mean, Dr. Jake actually is the one who taught me how to mean mug. He was like, you look through your eyebrows when you bow, because you used to bow. You'd bow when you come up from the bow, and I would look through my eyebrows as I went to like bow again. So I always had this face when I was bowing in. But yeah, even just to walk out to a mat, you know, in judo, you bow into the mat and everything like that. And I was like trying to like get in the person's head beforehand, because Americans were not really respected in judo. And they kind of sucked. And so I always tried to make every match into a fight. So every time I walked in, I was like, I'm going to fucking fuck you up. I'm not playing points, judo, tit-tat bullshit. I'm going to fucking rub your face into the mat and make sure you burn your whole fucking cheek off. And so that was kind of, I was thinking it as I was, you know, I'm thinking these things, and they show through your face what you're thinking. And it's something that like, actually I learned from Sylvester Stallone in Expendables. He was like, don't just wait for your line. You think what you're thinking, because people can see when you're vacant and people can see your thoughts. You think your thoughts. And so whenever time I do a stare down, I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm going to break your fucking arm off. Like, I'm thinking it. And so I'm thinking those things, and you can see it in my face. And I'm like, I'm a fucking killer. And it's not like I'm trying to make a face. It's the face that's made from a thought. Is there
a, this is obviously from feminine Bert coming, but is there when you get done and you walk out of the arena and you go back to that locker room, is there a moment of like crying, like, thank God this is fucking over, I'm so happy, like this is like, because I cry a lot. I cry a great deal.
Yeah, I remember before I fought Bertcast, I was like so stressed out about so much stuff, and just like miserable, making myself miserable from how anxious I was. And I kept thinking to myself, like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep doing this to myself? And it was walking out of the arena, and I had my arms around my family, and like the whole crowd turned in my favor like it was fucking Rocky IV. And I remember like looking up at everybody and walking out and being like, oh, this is why I do it. And like that relief, you know, that feeling of just like you're in love with the whole world.
How long does that last?
About an evening. It's real good while it lasts.
You are. This has been, I could sit and talk to you forever. And I have to say this, out of all the things I've done, and I've had some really great life experiences, to sit with you and have this opportunity to talk to you is, I mean, it's the entire reason I ever did this podcast in the first place. But this is a lesson in what it's like to be a champ, to sit with a champion, and for real is an honor. It's an honor and a privilege, and to hear mindset and backstory and just the sweetest thing, like your mom telling you. I mean, I feel like, and I mean this for real, she groomed you not just to be a champion, but to be a great mom. She feels like she set you up to just murder with your two children, who I wish I could pronounce their fucking names, but Laakea
and Liko'ula, but we call them Pa'u and Po.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of middle name in there too.
Yeah.
Those are
Laakea, Makalapo, Okalani Po.
And is the goal to be 55 years old, sitting in Hawaii watching sunsets, raise it with grandchildren and children? Like, that's too young, I guess. Like, is that the goal in life? How does this movie end?
Me wrinkling under the sun in paradise with my family, with not a damn thing to worry about.
Do your kids fight? They're gonna have to.
Well, my boys do football, and my Po actually just the other day came up to me in the kitchen. She was like, "Mom, I want to fight." She tried to fight me in the kitchen. Was like wrestling me on the floor of the kitchen. So hopefully we'll see. But I'm surprised throughout this entire interview you haven't asked me about this big ass shiner on my face the whole time.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
You didn't notice this?
Joking. What the fuck? I don't know. What am I supposed to, like, what? How did I assumed you got it fighting?
Oh, no. I bit myself shaving.
Wait, you know what's so funny? I was going to take, so when you were going through everything you're going through in your career, it's probably the most into MMA I've ever been. That era was so informative. And before then, when we lived in an apartment, I would watch every, Friday night or every
It was
Saturday.
pretty fucking peak.
And it was just amazing. And a lot of the people, Forrest and like a lot of the people that are a little older, those were really fun guys for me to watch too.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a lot of those careers. And Tito, Chuck, all of that era. Chael Sonnen, one of my favorites, and he one time DM'd me back like a thumbs up or something. It was like he was just so fun, not just to watch fight, but just about everything he did. So talented, and everything he's doing now, I think, is just pretty fucking badass. But all of those guys was like I was just obsessed with, and I said, I'm going to learn jiu-jitsu. And so I went to Eddie Bravo and I said, I want to take jiu-jitsu classes. And I love Eddie, but I don't think he really kind of understood what I was saying. I don't think he had I don't think at that time 10th Planet had like a beginner's class. I think it was just for like people that love jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. And I went in to talk to him and he had a black eye. And I was like, ooh, what happened? And he was like, huh? I was like, you have a black eye? He goes, I do. And I went, you don't know that you have a black eye? And he goes, I don't know. He was like, yeah, it's a little tender. I said, no, it's black. And he goes, yeah, I guess it must have gotten it from rolling. And I was like, you can get black eyes in here? And he was like, well, yeah.
Yeah, you clack heads.
Yeah, he goes,
stuff happens.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm on television. He was like, what's that mean? I was like, I can't have a black eye. I can't. It's so distracting if you have a black eye on television. Like people be like, why does the host of this Travel Channel show have a black eye?
Well, I mean, makeup works easily. I just didn't even try today.
I love it.
Thank you.
Did you get it from sparring or rolling? Or?
It was just like doing like an accident while drilling. I just have really sensitive, like the skin around my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I have sharp orbital bones. I just have really sensitive skin in general, but I mean, you touch me around the eyes and it blows up, but I think it looks cute.
Are you training right now?
Yeah, just
to keep in shape.
Yeah, just my youngest baby is 9 months, and I
you had a baby 9 months ago.
I had a baby 9 months ago.
Ladies, step up your fucking game. I don't know what your excuses are. Leanne's babies are 21 and 19. Well, I mean, come on, Leanne.
I'm still trying not to piss myself sometimes, but pelvic floor is important. I feel like this is just what my body is like wants to do, and when I'm doing it, I feel the most healthy. And so, I started training MMA again after this last baby, and I've never felt better. And I'm walking around like much lighter, which is a lot better for my joints and stuff like that, and my back and everything. So I'm just weirdly training for fun, which I thought I would never do, but I just
Is there a
love
price
it.
point that would get you back in the octagon?
A price point? Like what I couldn't say no to.
Dana calls up and he's like, Ronda, what's crazy? We got this crazy night. It's going to be, we got the sheiks in Saudi Arabia have put together a dream fight they want to see, and you're in it. What's your number? And for you to train, go back in.
I mean, I have everything I want. Like there's nothing that would really change my lifestyle. If you said $1 billion, I would do it because there's a B on it.
Let's do price points on this.
Okay, $1 billion.
No. Let's start lower. Let's start.
No,
so 10 million. $10
billion.
Okay, hold on. Let's keep going.
10 million wouldn't change my life.
10 million. Yeah. Okay. 150 million.
$1 billion. See, I'm really good at negotiating.
Okay, I'll be Dana, okay? Don't you remember when I gave you $175,000 and you were in that car park with your friend and you were dancing? Where's old Ronda? Okay, $350 million.
$1 billion. The power's in the past, man.
The power in the past.
That's if I didn't want to do it.
You're just fighting Bert Kreischer. By the way, he took $10,000.
All right. I will beat the shit out of you in your backyard for this house. Let's go.
How long do I get to train?
It's right now. Now or never.
Do you know, I was just talking to Joe on the walk over, and all it takes is a text going, how long for me to train to beat Ronda? That'll never happen.
He wouldn't know. He's not an expert. He's a fan with an audience.
It's interesting. Is that how you feel about you?
Never fought.
He fought Taekwondo, right?
Never fought. That's not fighting. It's not fighting.
Well, I'm gonna exit this conversation. No,
I don't want you to get any bad DMs. We need to get out. We need to get out.
Joe, by the way, Joe is, if anything, I think he's the kind of guy that, like, I remember one time there was some fighter that said something shitty about me. Joe's like, oh, no, he's a good guy. Don't worry about it. He says shit about me all the time. And I was like, really? And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay. Like, the stuff like that, I think he'd probably say, yeah, you're right. I never fought. He's weird. He's a weird kind of level dude in that sense where I'm the opposite. I'd be like, wait, what? Ronda doesn't like me? But
I'll never send you a mean DM, okay? So you can take that fear out of your mind.
Okay.
We are past that level.
you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing.
You're amazing. This is a lot cooler than I thought it would be.
Oh, thanks. No,
I would have brought more people if I knew you were this nice.
I'm nothing but a fan. I'm just a fan, and everything you do. Literally, I told you, I plant onions because of you. I don't harvest them properly, but I do it because of you. And you've given me so much joy in my life, and to see everything you're doing now, and to hear you talking about the movie. And I'm gonna
in
get
the comic. We're supposed to be selling this comic.
Expecting the Unexpected.
Expecting the Unexpected.
It's out right now. It came out October 7th.
Yes.
Expecting the Unexpected. I'm gonna get it for both my daughters who are into graphic novels, and I'm gonna say you should read. Do you remember the lady we'd watch fight, and they'd go, "Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about," and then I go, "This is her," and my daughters will fucking love it.
Ah,
but you are. I am so happy for everything you have, and I can't wait to. I hope I get to live long enough to see, like, your kids show up on football fields or in octagons or in judo or in something and go, "Oh, shut the fuck up." That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let's go fight.
Let's do it.
That was a great.
That was amazing.
Great questions.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.